Dear students, today let's understand the B part of your module first, animal and human communication system. Earlier in my videos, I talked about the definitions of language and the common basic features of language. In this B part of module first, we have to learn how animals communicate each other, how animals communication system works, and then human communication system, that is language, works. Now let's begin with the term communication system. Now in simple way, the way we communicate each other, that is a communication system. It is defined as intentional transmission of information. Intentional means with purpose. Transmission means exchange and information. So in communication, we exchange information with a purpose. So communication is defined as intentional transmission of information. Now human language is just one such kind of communication system. Don't think that every communication system is a language. You know that in army they had their own communication systems, codes. Different types of codes are used to communicate. Even traffic system, red light, green light, yellow light, these lights have their own message of communication. So language is just one kind of communication system. Now all communication systems have some basic elements or properties. They are There are signals in communication system. In those signals, some meaning is hidden there, and those signals have some useful functions. So signals or signs, maybe they visual, auditory, or tactile. For example, gestures. When father looks at a child angrily, he just makes his eyes big. It shows that he is angry. So that sign has visual sign has certain meaning. So they are called signals. Then you have auditory, tactile, related to your touch. When your mother touches you warmly, it has some meaning of love and affection. So every communication system has signals in it or signs. Then semanticity. Semanticity means meaning. So those signals have meanings. We cannot communicate with random or wayward signals. For a proper communication, along with the signals, there must be meaning in those signals. Suppose that if I write down this word and told you that this is a signal, you won't be able to identify this signal because it is not included in your language you have learned. So signals must have meaning. Now the third common feature of any communication system is pragmatic function. Pragmatic here it means useful, working function. So messages which are sent or given have some purpose. Those purpose functions in a particular situation. So these are the three common properties of any communication system, maybe language or say computer language or any other communication system. These all communication system contains these three properties. Now let's understand with these some basic ideas animal communication system. Now you may get surprised. Do animal communicate? Do they communicate with each other or with one species of animals with the other species of animals? Do they have a system of communication? Because as language is a system of communication and which is very developed and complex, do they have such developed complex communication system? Do animals communicate and we can call their system as language? So these are the some of the questions. Now you might have heard about uh, Niravanti. Niravanti, this is a very legendary type of a mystical type of book. It is said that when you read this book, you come to know the meanings of the sounds of animals. So it is said that this book is written to understand how animals speak. You might have heard about this book. You have also read stories in Aesop's fables, in which we are told that the animals speak like human beings with each other and they communicate with each other. But this is all unbelievable. We just can read and can see even in cartoon films you see that some animals speak with each other, etc. But this never happens. So we have to find out when while learning whether if they don't animals don't have communication system like us, that is language, how do they communicate? Now let's begin with taking some examples. Now you see that bees, this is a very famous example of bees. Now honeybees communicate with each other when a bee finds a location of food. That bee tells other bees that there is food available for all of them. Now, for example, they do a round dance. Now, this round dance is used to tell the food is available, even the what kind of quality of the food is there, and what type of food is there. Now they also do the sickle dance. Now these all types of dance is done to communicate other bees that the food is available from a particular type of distance. When the food is less than 7 meter, that is 20 feet, they do round dance. When the food is between 7 to 20 meter, they do the sickle dance. Sickle dance means this type of dance. Tail wagging dance. When the food is more than 20 meters away from their house, that is the hive, ज्याला आपण मराठीत पोळं म्हणतो, they do tail wagging dance. So these these dances, this type of dances are signals, and the meaning is the existence of food, what quality of food, type of food they direct. Now, common types of signals that are used in anapnation communication. For example, some chemicals are used. For example, pheromones. Some auditory cues are there, like sounds, visual cues, and tactile cues, touch. For example, you see here in this picture that these dots are drops of the pheromone dropped by these ants, and they show the direction of the food, the source of food available. So from this honey ants heap, here is food and here is heap. So they drop pheromone towards the eatables or the source of food, so that all ants could go straight on this direction. So these are the trails that are left by the ants which finds the food. So this is the one example. You will see that in and around you there are many auditory signals, visual signals are used by animals to communicate with each other. Now look at this picture. This chimpanzee gives expression. It touches the upper teeth with its tongue. Now, what does that show? It is a green, and it is a fair green. It, it is shown on the face of young chimpanzee. And what does that mean? It means submission. So these young chimpanzees, when submit to the adult or the dominant male, that they are defeated and they are submitting themselves, dominance of the adult and dominant male, then they show this signal. When they have to show this, ज्याला आपण म्हणतो ना की हार मांडल्यानंतर आपण एक विशिष्ट एक्सप्रेशन देतो चेहऱ्यावर, तशा प्रकारची ही एक्सप्रेशन इथं यंग चिंपांजींना दिलेले आहे. टुवर्ड्स whom? Towards the dominant male chimpanzee. So this expression shows that facial expression can be used, such type of used by animals. Now look at this picture. Here you see that they are touching each other, and they are finding the lysis. So here you see this is a kind of love, friendliness, affection, social bond is created. So tactile means of touch signals. So do animals also communicate? These all pictures and examples show that animals also communicate, but they have different signals. The meanings have different meanings are there for those signals, and they communicate with each other. Now, the basic purpose of omni-animal communication is that the first is obtaining mates, then coordinating group behavior, establishing dominance or defending territory, caring for young. So these are the four basic purposes of animal communication. Now, when you understand this animal communication, one thing is clear that animal communication system has not developed like that of human beings, because human beings have a developed and complex communication system, that is the language, and the main communication system of man is language. There are other communication systems we use, for example, traffic signals, military code language, but language is the most developed and complex communication system. Now, in my next video, we will turn to understand human communication system, that is language.